sort of revision classes, if you like, online for students who are missing out on their studies owing to COVID-19. The move has been greeted with mixed reactions, with many dismissing it as a PR stunt to turn the public's gaze away from his shocking shooting of a young unarmed man at point-blank range. He joins us now, and for the very first time on Punchline, and thank you for coming to the program. We'll discuss a couple of things with you, but I want to begin by giving you an opportunity to tell us who you are and what you stand for beyond what has been seen and reported about you.
Thank you very much, Anne. I'm Babu, Member of Parliament, Embakasi East constituency, a Kenyan citizen who means no harm, does no harm, thinks no harm, but wants the best for the Kenyan citizens. That's me. Okay.
Let's start by briefly discussing your role as a legislator, and I want to talk about the evictions in Nairobi which touch on your constituents. On May the 8th, a group of Nairobi leaders held a meeting with the Interior Cabinet Secretary, and it was reported that an agreement had been reached that for the next 4 months there would be no further demolitions, only for them to resume last week. So as a legislator representing some of these people, what exactly was discussed first at that meeting with the Ministry of Interior, and now that the demolitions have returned, what are you going to do about it?
Number one, I must start by condemning the nature in which demolition was carried out. Actually, it was in a very inhumane way. Demolition was done at night, which is against the curfew that was set by the President himself. The President himself has been against the issue of demolition, and he said that houses should not be demolished. On that ground, I want to be with the people on the ground and feel them, because when this demolition is done by the perpetrators who are going against the curfew, first they should be arrested. That person who is going to drive a caterpillar to demolish a house for a fellow poor person, what does he think about that other fellow poor person? They should feel that actually they are doing a wrong, and a wrong cannot make a right.
What are you going to do about it?
Number one, a wrong that was done is the fact that the curfew rule was broken. Number two wrong is that the demolition was done at night. I actually think that this demolition can be done during the day, and even to make matters worse.
So it would be okay if it was done in the day?
To make matters worse.
So it would be okay if it was done during the day?
Just give me time. To make matters worse, demolition should not be done at this specific period of time where there is coronavirus. Actually, these people have nowhere to go, because even they can't even visit their relatives for fear of hosting them because of this corona pandemic. Number two, it's a rainy season. Where will these people go? Number three, these people can be attacked by any person during the night. We have children, we have women, we have persons who are persons with disability, generally people who are vulnerable. And
well noted, Mheshimiwa, but you're a legislator and you represent them. You will need to move speedily, sir, as this is a timed program. So as a legislator, what is it that you're going to do to use your position to help address their plight? It's okay.
Now, my plea to the government is that, number one, the demolition should stop. They should stop, because people are really suffering. At this time, people have even no money to rent other houses. People have no money to buy food. People are really suffering on the ground. So the President's decree, the President's order should be obeyed, and demolition should be stopped instantly. When we had a meeting at KICC with the CS Matiang'i, he did agree that demolitions will be stopped. And actually, there's one that was done at Kariobangi, another one at Ruai. Ruai is in Kasarani constituency, and I felt them because majority of them were calling me just at least to try and fight for their rights. So I urge the government just to stop this demolition. All right.
You have lately taken to giving online revision classes for students. What do you hope to achieve with this?
This is a talent that I offered to share with my people. It is a God-given talent. At least I started doing this way before. It is not a PR stunt in any way. I started when I was in primary school. I was at least going to another primary school called Kasagam Primary School to try to educate some of the candidates for the KCPE examination when I was at Kisumu Boys High School. I can assure you and tell you that I used to teach my fellow candidates, that is maths, physics, chemistry, and accounting. And as at the moment, I'm doing it as a way to help the children of Kenya, to help remove them from the slums,
right.
to help their parents who are really suffering to get money to educate them. Those parents who are in the slums,
right.
Those parents who are in the slums, I want to ensure that the children that are educated through this process, they pass exams, they go to the university and uplift their lives.
Is it not the case that your real intention with these tutorials is to hoodwink the public and possibly the courts regarding your true nature, which was made abundantly clear when on the 17th of January you shot and critically injured DJ Evolve at point blank range?
My aim with these tutorials is actually to help our children. That is why most parents, most candidates, and even the teachers themselves are saying that this is a good program. It is a program that is benefiting them. This is an educational program. It is not any other program that
Have you seen what people are saying online in response to your program?
People are so happy. Even the other day on Citizen TV, you could see teachers saying how good that is. Parents were saying how I'm helping their children.
Let me just read to you, sir. Let me read to you, sir, what they are saying. And yes. Quote, on your own page, you shot someone at point blank. He's still in hospital. You still have a bill to clear. You're a monster created by your political benefactors, and they will tire of you. That is what they are saying. How do you respond to that, Kenyan?
And let me also read to you.
Start by responding to this, Kenyan.
Let me also read to you.
Don't start by reading something else. Respond to this particular Kenyan.
I will not respond to that. I will also respond to that by another response, other responses, which are almost 80,000 responses from Kenyans. That could just be 1% of the responses that you are reading, which is
why don't you want to respond to this particular Kenyan?
I want to respond it with another response.
And you will have an opportunity to read another one, but why don't you want to respond to this particular Kenyan?
I will respond to it with another response that is saying that Babu Owino is doing a good work to help the children, to help our children. Another response is that Babu Owino continue with that good job. Babu Owino, this is kudos. Please make sure that our children...
Here's another response for you, sir. Here's another response for you. Quote, you should be conducting your lessons from committee. End quote.
Another response here. Babu Owino, please, we can give you our children so that at least you stay with them, you ensure they pass the exam.
I want you to take a look at this video. It will be playing on your screen. Watch. Babu, what do you have to say for yourself?
What I will tell you, Anne, is simple. This is a matter before a court of law, and a matter before a court of law is sub judice. Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been handcuffed? Yes or no?
No, but you don't ask the questions.
Now, if you discuss this
what
matter,
do you have to
if
say
you
for
discuss
yourself?
this matter, those people are going to arrest you because it is a matter before a court of law and it is sub judice, and we stop at that.
This is not just a matter of law, neither are we discussing the merits of your case in which the realms of sub judice would apply. We're discussing a matter of public record, and in doing so, a matter that touches on public interest and public safety.
So what I would like to tell you is that it is a matter before a court of law and it is sub judice. Number two, you have no moral yardstick to measure morality.
Neither did we say that. I'm just asking what you have to say for yourself.
It's a matter before a court of law that I will not discuss. I'm the one who was in prison, and when I was in prison, if you want my story in prison, it is a story for another day. Kindly invite me, I will tell you how my life in prison was.
You are here today, sir, so we will ask the questions that we have today. Are you remorseful?
It is a matter before a court of law that I will not discuss.
Why do you continue to hold public office in clear violation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, a violation of common decency and good conscience?
The Constitution is clear. You are innocent till proven guilty.
This is what the Constitution also says, according to Chapter 6, Article 75, quote, "A state officer shall behave, whether in public or official life, in a private manner or in association with other persons, in a manner that avoids demeaning the office of the office holder." It continues to read, "A person who contravenes this may be removed from office and disqualified from holding any other state office." So according to our laws, not only should you not be in public office based on this shooting, you should never again hold public office, isn't it?
So that Constitution told you may be removed, not will be removed or should be removed. May be removed. That's why I'm telling you that you are innocent until proven guilty as per the same Constitution. Do not read that Constitution selectively.
I'm not reading it selectively. Indeed, I've given you the entire quote, but I'm simply saying, according to it, and according to the video that we have just played, do you believe that that is conduct that befits a person holding public office?
Again, a before a court of law is sub judice. And I'm warning you, these people will arrest you.
You are simply using the ongoing case to evade a matter of public interest and a matter of public safety. There's no question that we've asked that contravenes laws on sub judice. Why don't you want to answer the people directly?
Seems you have answers that you want to tell Kenyans, so you can speak to them.
On the contrary, I'm asking you specific questions. Do your actions not violate Chapter 6 of the Constitution?
I've told you, number one, you have no moral obligation, you have no moral yardstick to measure morality. Number two, it is a matter before a court of law.
We're not discussing morality, we're discussing the Constitution of Kenya, sir.
The same why don't you discuss the Constitution that says that you are innocent till proven guilty? Discuss that.
No, I won't. I'll ask questions.
So
as an ODM parliamentarian, sir, you have often claimed to support, for instance, the progressive implementation of the Constitution when dealing with people's rights by the same standard which you purport to believe in. Shouldn't you have resigned from your public position the day you pulled that trigger?
A matter before a court of law still can't be discussed here.
This is not about the matter that is in court. This is about, sir, this is about, sir, whether you believe you are fit to hold public office. That is the question.
That's why I'm still holding the office, because I'm fit to hold it. And I was elected and given the mandate to hold the office and to work for my people, and I've been doing it.
And you don't think that you have violated that public trust through those actions in January?
That is what you think.
I'm asking you a question.
That is what you think, not me.
No, sir, it is not what I think. It is a question that I'm posing to you. Do you not believe that your actions in shooting DJ Evolve violated that public trust?
Seems there's an answer that you need, so you can tell me that answer.
I'd appreciate a direct answer,
I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude, but you don't need to insist on it. It's not your cup of tea.
To insist on what?
On whatever you are discussing, which I won't discuss.
It appears, though, to be the issue that Kenyans are asking. So do we have, perhaps you could bring up the feedback and the questions that Kenyans would like you to respond to, sir? Director, could we bring that up now? Okay, here's one of them. Jane Daisy writes in and asks, is he going to have a fundraiser for the 11 million hospital bill for the young man he shot, or will he forfeit his salary and perks to ensure that that bill is settled? That's a Kenyan asking you a direct question. I
would like to tell the Kenyan that the matter that you are talking about is a matter that is before a court of law, that will be decided by a court of law, and that matter I'm not ready to discuss it as at the moment because it is sub judice.
Let's take another question from the public. DJ Evolve is still in hospital with, of course these are conflicting figures, but nonetheless I'll read it, a 16 million bill. How is he planning to pay for that bill considering he tried to kill him? Again, this is a Kenyan asking you this question.
It's a matter before a court of law.
Do you believe that you should pay that bill? It's reported that you've paid about 5 million shillings, is that correct?
Matter before a court of law.
According to a report by The Star a week ago, DJ Vol's father said, and I quote, he is still in hospital, and as we speak, Babu only paid 5 million shillings of the 16 million shilling bail. His legs are unresponsive. Is his father telling the truth?
Matter before a court of law.
How is that a matter before a court of law?
The whole issue about
whether he's in hospital or not is a matter before a court of law?
The whole issue about the subject you are discussing is before a court of law.
Is it not true, Babu, we know that the only reason you are not behind bars tonight is because you wield political power and are able to circumvent the justice system?
Matter before a court of law.
What do you want to say to the public tonight about that incident? Because we asked the public we did not lead them in any way. In fact, we said, send in questions to Babu Owino. And this is the singular question that they had for you.
I would like to tell members of the public one thing, that right now we are dealing with education, educating our children and our candidates. Kindly ensure that your relatives who are candidates, kindly ensure that they tune in on my Facebook page, verified the page, Babu Owino, Instagram account, Babu Owino, YouTube account, Babu Owino TV. Ensure that your children get the best from Babu Owino, and I will change the lives of your children.
Do you consider yourself a role model for young people?
That's why they've been following my education.
So is that a yes? Do you consider yourself a role model for them?
An extreme yes.
Okay. What have you done, for instance, to inspire young people or advocate for better opportunities for them as a legislator?
The latest is about our education that we've been doing to ensure that at least our children get the best. When you first of all start by educating the mind, revolution of the mind, we want to revolutionize education so that we can get the best. Number two, at the constituency level, what we've done at the constituency, from construction of the roads, construction of schools. As we are speaking, there are 2 schools that are going to be constructed, that is Donholm Secondary School and then Tasia Primary School. As we are speaking again, there's going to be sufficient supply of water within Embakasi East constituency, because a water reserve has been constructed right at Embakasi Garrison. We've done around 21 roads in Embakasi East constituency. We are giving bursaries to our children, our children, to ensure that at least they get education, among other things.
Let's talk about education, because this is the respect in which you're also doing those online classes. But as a legislator, isn't your role to legislate? For instance, how many young people are able to access the classes that you give, given the poverty, not just in Nairobi, really, in Kenya? Shouldn't you be pushing for their access in Parliament as a legislator?
That is very true, and I do agree with you. First, I'm one of the fewest teachers. In fact, I'm the first teacher to have hosted the biggest class in the world, a class containing around 8,600, around 8,000 students. That's divided by 40 per class. That's 200 classrooms that have been assisting. So when it comes to matters of education, I've tried to reach our children as much as possible. When it comes to legislation, I've contributed to bills, and there are motions in Parliament that I'm already sponsoring, and bills that I'm sponsoring in Parliament.
You said that young people consider you a role model, and I'll leave that out to the court of public opinion and, of course, the questions that are being sent in by our viewers. But unlike the Martha Karuas or James Orengos of yesteryear, who pushed for justice and constitutional reform in their youth, you appear to be a far cry from that through various controversial actions, not least of them one that is now the subject of your court case. Are you truly a champion for young people, or simply a youth winger and a broker for the political elite?
First, we must admit that what the people you've mentioned were fighting for, they were fighting for multi-party. They were fighting for many parties for our country to have many parties. Their ideology has changed. What they are fighting for then is not what we are fighting for now. Now we are fighting for different things. Now we are fighting for other human rights. Now we are fighting on how Kenyans can come together through the BBI. As you are seeing the BBI, it's bringing Kenyans together. This idea of political animosity, this idea of people being killed after electioneering periods, the post-election violence, we are fighting against that by at least ensuring that all communities are absorbed within one system, such that a Kamba in Makueni does not complain that they don't have somebody within the government who can assist them. A Luo in Nyanza does not complain too. A Kikuyu in Central Province also is in a position to say that at least there are those people who can deliver for us within the government. So those people who are fighting to divide this unity, people coming together, the Tanga movement, should be dealt with the way the president is dealing with them.
Having said that, I just want to stick on the theme of young people. It is young people tonight who are asking why you are out, indeed even questioning why this program would host you. You purport to speak for them, to be defending them in Parliament, when the video clip that was exclusively unveiled by K24 First continues to show that you shot and injured an unarmed young person. Why would young people follow you and believe you based on what they have seen?
Whatever we've done, you've been seeing yourself. If you had children, they would be following me because of what I've been doing. Number one, there's none of my constituents who is complaining. You are the only person who is complaining, and you are not coming from my constituency. I don't know why. The juice is not worth the squeeze for you to complain. This is not your cup of tea.
What do you mean by the juice is not worth the squeeze? A young man may very well never walk again. He's in hospital. That is
what you think. That is what you think.
Then correct me if I'm wrong. Are you saying he's not in hospital? Are you saying that he can walk?
It's a matter before a court of law.
Babu, we know you cannot hide behind it being in the court of law when you are also in the same breath claiming that the information in the public domain is not correct. Are you telling the country tonight that you know that he is well?
I will not discuss a matter before a court of law since you want me to be rearrested. That is your intention?
On the contrary, we would appreciate direct answers to our straightforward questions. However, let's see if we can take a little bit more feedback that you're sending in tonight. All right. All right, I'm told we're out of time, but nonetheless, please use the hashtag punchline. You made the reference to parenting, and you are a parent.
Yes.
I believe I've seen pictures of a young man on your social media.
A responsible father and a loving husband, for that matter.
Right.
Yes.
With all those qualities which you purport to have, you can then understand the position of the parents of the young man whom you shot. What kind of justice, if you were to put yourself in their shoes, what kind of justice would you want if something like this happened to a family member of yours? What would you want to see from our courts? What would you want to see from the public?
I think you are sent by the DPP to come and ask me this question so that at least they can go to court and say that Babu violated the reasons why he was released, so that he be rearrested, or so that I be arrested for that matter.
On the contrary, I'm simply asking you as a parent. If you are
working for the DPP, I'm sorry. If you are a prosecutor, I'm sorry. I'm not in the mood of discussing that, and I'm not going back to prison again. I'm sorry.
You believe you don't belong in prison? Babu Owino.
Move on.
That's our time, and we're back with the sport after this.
I am going crazy. Give me that.
You won't solve a thing being like this. If you want her back, then do whatever it takes to get her back.
I am the victim. You should go after the kidnapper. That's why we are asking you. What does he look like? You saw him.
Why are you digging into the empty bookcase?